Welcome back to my channel Coding Tutorials Hub. In this video we will see how to connect to the database through the registration form and save the uh, data in the database using PHP. So in the previous video, as we created a registration HTML form like this. So in today's video we will save this collected information of the user in our database using PHP. So let's begin, friends. So as you can see, we have already created the HTML part. So we required a config file to connect to the database as I already created. We need host name, username, password, and a database name and the connection. This is the MySql connect syntax which we use to connect the database. So here once we create this HTML file, we will give an action to the same page as we need to collect the data from the form. So we'll catch the form details here in the post variable. First we'll check if the data has been collected. Registration details is equal to post. So if you print this registration details underscore r registration details, once we will check here localhost PHP basics registration.php. So as you can see here, the empty array is being print. We have not submitted the form. So in order to add a check here to not print while we are loading the file, we can add a isSet condition here. IsSet post of insert and post of equals add. Then only we need to get this. Why? Because why I have added insert here is we are sending an insert variable in the hidden. Type is hidden, so the value is add. So once we submit this form, it will also send this value in the post variables. So let us check if it is sending it or not. We'll refresh this. Now see the array print is gone. So let me add some data here. See, once we have submitted it, it is catching the post variables data in this registration details variable and it is printing. So we are getting the form details correctly. Now we need to connect to the database using this config file. Let us include the file here. Include ig.php. We have included the file and we have given a database name called registration. So once let us check if we have created it or not. So there is no registration database here. So we will create a registration create. So we have created a registration database. Now the table name will be users. So let us check how many columns we have. 1 2 3 4 5. So we need to add 6 because we'll have the increment value registration IDs. So we'll add 6. Let us create a database first. First one will be ID, that will be int. So it should be not null. No, it should be not null and it should be auto increment. Okay, this will be the primary key. Now first name varchar, you can give how much length you want. It can be null. First name and last name should be a varchar. Let us suppose this also 200, can be null. And what else? Email it should be a varchar. It can be also 200. Depending upon your requirement, you can add that length. Mobile and address, mobile address. Mobile can also be a varchar, whatever maybe cannot be more than 20. So address 200. So a point to be noted here is the column names which we are creating here should match these names in the HTML form. So it is a good practice to maintain the same variable names whenever you are creating database or any forms. Now save. Once you save here, this is an ID, this is a primary key, and all other are the columns which we have created. So now let us check. After we are getting these form details, we need to add that in variables. So I have added this already here because it will take some time to type all these things. Let us see. First name, we are taking it in a variable, first name, last name, email, mobile and address. So here we require a query of insert query to insert all these variables which we are getting from the form in the database. So like this, you have taken the post variables in the variable, and you are inserting it by using a MySql query. So once the query is inserted in the database, it will return boolean. See here. So it will pass the, and it will add here user registered successful. If there is something else, if something wrong goes, then we have else condition which says user not registered, please try again. So let us save this file and check if it is able to save. Nilesh at gmail.com, mobile some and the mobile number some address. So once you submit this form, user registered successfully, we got a message. So that means the data which we have sent from this form is successfully inserted in the database. So once let us check if the data is inserted or not. Click on the user tab. See, auto increment, it got 1, and the first name, last name, email, mobile and address saved successfully. So this is the code which we use to insert a simple form of HTML into the PHP by using MySQL database. So in the next video, what we'll do is we will try to get the data from the database and display it in the web browser in the next tutorial. So if you want any other function examples to explain with example code, so please comment in the comment section so that I'll create that function example with the code. Yeah, thanks for watching. Stay tuned.